Okay, Tanya Vargo, and today I'm gonna go over, some more of the stuff that comes up when you're going through this big change of, the law of attraction and thinking positively and trying to draw positive things more to you. And as you're going through it, it becomes apparent, who has and has not worked on themselves around you, who did or did not actually make this choice for you personally. As you were growing up, they didn't make the choice possibly to get better, or you didn't understand it. So, as you're working on this, stuff will come up, right? And sometimes you can be like, well, this is how I was raised. This is what my parents did. This is how it's supposed to be. Or, why did they make that choice? And I can guarantee you, if you find yourself in the luxury of sitting on a therapist's couch, they're going to tell you that, if your parents gave you food, gave you clothing, and gave you shelter, they did their job. Now, I hope some of you go into having children with bigger aspirations than that, but you find yourself on the couch, and that's the first thing you're going to hear, and you may or may want to quit right then. And so you're sitting there, and you're like, wait. They did all this stuff. My parents or whoever was responsible for taking care of you most of your life, they were abusive, they were neglectful, they had addiction problems, they worked all the time and weren't home, they moved me around, and they were incredibly harsh with words and didn't mince them, and I get to deal with this, and I get to fix this, and this is my problem, and it's got to all come from me, and I get to fix it. Yup. So will your kids, So when your kids come, at least you'll know to offer them to pay for therapy and, point them to a few videos, right? So it's going to be your job, and it's going to be your inside job. And some of you will get the luxury of, approaching the people responsible for your upbringing. And you may possibly have the luxury of, coming to a meeting of the minds, hashing things out, getting an apology, and getting some holes filled within you, and moving forward. Some of you, it's not going to happen that way. You will lovingly approach them or try to initiate some sort of discussion or meeting of the minds, and they will continue to be them. They will continue to behave the way they behaved. They will continue to see nothing wrong and be okay with how everything was, and not examine it or reject it completely. And then, it's up to you, not necessarily to remove them from your life or excommunicate them, but accept that that's the space they are in, that's where they are, and you have to decide how far to bring them in and how far to bring them out, things like that. And at the end of the day, they did the best they could and the best they knew how at that time. And that's all you're going to be able to tell your kids too, right? Because we aren't without flaws. So, I will be writing checks for therapy until, couple of years back, I guess, when I started to really start working on myself. And when my kids come to me, I will own, what I did. And if I really didn't think I did something wrong, to accept that that's their viewpoint, some of that, that's all it is, and that's all it's going to take, right? I accept that that's how you saw it, and I accept that it made you feel that way, and I'm sorry. I will be better in the future, and do better in the future, and that is that. So, it's an inside job, and that's what's going to remove your blockages, continue, the positive things coming towards you, and heal you on the inside so that you're in alignment when you're doing your affirmations and prayers and moving forward, so that there's no blockages. And you can feel good about yourself and do better in your job and relationships and things like that.